School meals in Reading, for me, is really exciting. Every time I come to visit this local authority, I wonder what I'm going to see next.
The purpose of SNAGs is to promote healthy eating, a healthy lifestyle, healthy approach to living within the school environment.
We're growing up in an obesogenic environment. There's lots of media pressure for lots of foods that are going on. There's cheap, high-fat, high-sugary foods that are there for convenience, and you need to educate children to try and pick the more healthier foods out there.
So the idea is that children are learning about healthy eating in the classroom. They're then going out to break time eating a healthy snack. They're going into the school dining hall and having a healthy, balanced school dinner or a healthy packed lunch.
We only started in September 2009, so it's still very, very early days, but so far things are looking very good and very positive.
The power of the SNAG groups, which are now in 10 schools in Reading, is great because it influences the whole school ethos, and food is such an important issue now.
We like the children to come and take part in the meetings. There's obviously aspects of it that are a bit administration or organisational issues, so we don't make them sit through those kind of things. But when it comes to determining what are the issues, what do we need to address, they often come up with some of the best ideas about how to engage the rest of the children in the school and how to engage parents. They'll know what will make their parents interested in things that the school is doing.
We've also gone to some meetings about food and healthy eating. We've talked quite a lot about it there.
I think it's vital that the children are involved, that the children's voice is heard, and they come up with some fantastic ideas. They're not afraid to say what they think might work.
The pupil involvement and participation and consultation that happens in this local authority is really inspirational.
At the meetings we have our SNAG team, which is all pupils from Nicklands, and we have representatives from Chartwells and dietitians like Federica.
And it involves a number of people: head teachers, parent governors, different school teachers, parents, children, catering staff and health professionals.
At the first meeting, the SNAG will look at the food activities that are taking place in that school and develop an action plan. And the action plan will look at the needs of that school. So it's very much a school-by-school approach.
We went around the hall and we asked people what was in their lunch boxes.
We actually carry out lunchbox surveys at the schools. We tend to do two. One when we first go into the schools, just to get a feel for what the lunches are like. And then at the next SNAG we're actually able to talk to the school and find out in what areas we can help most.
Hi everyone, my name's Julia and I'm coming around your school today to have a look at everybody's pet lunches because we're trying to make the school healthier for its pupils. Do you think you could tell me what you're having for lunch today?
I had some grapes, a yoghurt, some crisps, a tuna sandwich, carrots and an apple.
Little sausages.
A packet of crisps and some 5 Alive juice. A wrap, pink milk, yoghurt and some breadsticks.
And this, of course, because this is my favourite.
Okay, and what was in your wrap?
Cheese. And I had an apple and some water.
And what was in your sandwich?
Cheese and cucumber.
And I got grapes, and that's it.
We then do another survey after an intervention, and from that we can see whether or not there's been any improvement.
So I can see you've got a school dinner there. What did you have for lunch today?
I got some lasagna.
Lasagna, was it nice?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you have to drink?
Some apple juice.
Some apple juice, okay. Well, it's good to see that you've eaten it all.
We send out a newsletter to parents talking about the lunchbox survey that was carried out, and then just giving ideas as to what a healthy lunchbox could be, giving them some tips.
In the past, SNAGs has been carried out nationally, and it's shown that it does make a difference in people's eating habits or food brought in from home and things like that.
We've had a school lunchbox assembly, which the children really enjoyed.
We had like healthy eating assemblies and we talked about the healthy food.
So this year at Emmy Queen Primary School, we're trying to make it a healthier school. So that's why we're here today to talk about healthy packed lunches and school dinners. So first of all, hands up, who has a packed lunch? Okay, so there's quite a few of you there. Hands up, who helps mum and dad help make a packed lunch? Okay, a few less of you there. So I've got some students here this morning to help me, and we're going to talk about what types of foods we can put in our lunch boxes. Okay, so reading number 1, if you wouldn't mind starting.
It is important to include a starchy food to provide energy.
I had to read some stuff out.
It is important to include fruit and vegetables for vitamins and minerals.
So hands up, you can tell me some examples of fruit and vegetables. Okay. Carrots, yeah. Peas. Broccoli, fantastic, yeah.
And we try to get the kids really involved as well. It helps to sort of carry the message over to the other pupils.
So hands up for ham. Who wants ham in the sandwich? Yeah, hands up for fish. Okay, so ham wins. We also advertise the school dinners there as well, because the school dinners are brilliant because they're already balanced, so it's quite good to push that as well, so the children are encouraged to have the school dinners.
My favourite school dinner is lasagna and fish and chips.
Obviously, nutritionally, it's important that they get a well-balanced lunch, plus it just sees them through the afternoon. If they have a healthy lunch, they're much more alert in the afternoons, they're sort of more focused and they can sort of tackle the afternoon better.
My favourite school meal is definitely the fish and chips, because I love fish and I love chips and they do it really well here.
Well, I think one of the best things we've done is to encourage children who at the moment have a packed lunch for school to consider having a school meal, because we know then that they'll have a healthy, balanced diet. But also for those families who want to continue having packed lunches, to reflect on the kind of quality of the nutrition groups that they're including in their packed lunches.
It's really important to get their feedback on the school meals, and I know that the school meals do regular comment cards for the children to fill in.
Some of them don't taste very nice, like the risottos. They taste like plain. We could have some people and parents come in, and then they could try some school meals, and if they like them, they'll probably encourage their children to have them.
Parents are going to be invited along after school for a taster session, which will give them an insight into the food that their children can be enjoying if they have school meals. And hopefully, I think school meals have changed a lot since those parents were at school, so it will show them how far we've come in terms of being able to offer a balanced, healthy and attractive option for their children.
At a recent parents' evening, we had a SNAG's display up, and we were talking to the parents about it and giving out leaflets and showing them the amount of sugar and oil that are in some of the snack foods that they put in their lunch boxes, which they were horrified at.
We also talk about skills, so we talk about things like cooking clubs and gardening clubs, and gaining those kind of life skills that will take them through once they're adults as well.
To get more people eating fruit and vegetables, you could get them to grow their own food, so they know where it's come from.
What we want is to see the children sow the seed, see it growing, developing, and then harvest it, and then cook it, eat it, and see what real healthy, good food it is, and taste the difference between a bought carrot and one you've just picked out of the soil.
And we grow our own fruit and vegetables and we eat them. We get to cook with them with Miss Elliott and eat them.
Also initiatives for school dinners as well. They've actually used compost bins, so the waste can be degraded and put back into the garden.
They do surveys, they do questionnaires, they do analysis, they send letters home to the parents which they sign and they write, so they just keep very busy indeed.
Or you could hand out some leaflets and show what could happen if you eat too many fatty or sugary items, and show what could happen if you eat healthy stuff.
But as well as SNAG, they're also involved in other healthy school topics. So after all the food and nutrition side, they'll be involved in the physical and keeping fit side as well.
It's very apparent that one of the main barriers to learning for our children is poor nutrition. If they come to school without a decent breakfast or not having a decent lunch whilst they're here, then their learning capability throughout the day is very, very badly diminished.
I think it's also really important that they pick up these good habits whilst they're young, because then they can continue with those through life. I think it's much easier than starting off on the wrong foot and having to change later on.
If you eat too many fatty and sugary items, you can become quite fat and you will struggle to walk.
Continuity is the most important thing that a child needs, and if the messages are being continuous at school and then at home, then hopefully that will stay with them for the rest of their life.
It's important to have fruit and vegetables so you can keep healthy and keep fit. You should have at least 5 a day.
For the future in SNAGs, we would like each school to become sustainable in terms of carrying on SNAGs even when we have maybe less input and go into other schools. And so we would love for parent governors to take more responsibility and have all the head teachers and parents and children to still carry on these meetings, because at the end of the day it's about making their school better and making it healthier, and so that they could carry it on, because you really need to have this drip feed approach. You can't just do it once as a one-off.
I think ultimately at the heart of it is the welfare and well-being of the pupils of Reading, and that's what school food's about. And I just can't wait to see what Reading's going to do next.